All right, so good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Fool's Landing, our Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd Edition campaign set in the Forgotten Realms. And tonight, I'll be the Dungeon Master for session number 52. Joining us will be a full cast of characters. I'm going to have introduced themselves and their PC starting from left to right, and I'll move your characters to match. So first would be Griff, which is Tim. Hello.
I'm Tim. I'm playing Griff, a 5th level human ranger.
All right. Then we have Molly. Good evening.
Hello, I'm playing Showdown, and he's a 5th level Wizard Slayer Barbarian.
Excellent. Good to have you. And then is Adam.
Hey, Adam playing Bartholomew, a 6th level priest of Lyra, Lady of the Mists.
Perfect. Next up is Wayne. Hello.
Hello, I'm Wayne. I'm playing Sahagin, a 5th level aquatic elf cleric of Valkyr.
Did I skip Brandon? I think I just did. Come right back to Brandon. Good to have you, Wayne.
Thank you. I am Brandon. I am playing Nod, a Shadow Minotaur Thief. I believe level 7 or 6, one of the two.
Yeah, we'll take a look here in a second just to double check that. But good to have you as well. And then last but not least, Chris.
Oh, I'm playing Kurza, nice 5th level wizard, 2nd level scout.
All right. So let's double check. I don't know if I have your XP updated here, to be honest with you. Let me double check. But I know, where were we, if anybody did go up, if we were even close. I don't recall. Looks like Chris was the closest. He had gone up last session. Let's see if anybody else went up here. I remember calculating it. I just didn't plug it in here. So yeah, let me update this real quick. I think, did anyone 2,500? Yeah, you already crossed 2,500. So
Yeah.
let me just double check. Is this right? No, it's not exactly right. It's close though. So nobody went up in level. So I'll just update a couple of these to reflect where we're at exactly. But I think this is actually correct. I just didn't update that one. So anyway, then I think that means, yeah, as we said, we've got human cleric level 6, elven wizard level 5, rogue 2, human fighter level 5, human ranger level 5, minotaur thief level 6, and sea elf cleric level 5. All right, party, we are together again. We left off inside of the Middle Dark in a cavern that it basically killed off some spawn in, and in the process got the attention of an Aboleth. So we left off with the party on the banks of this underground pond and dealing with the rising head and body of this strange looking creature, is what I'll say. But it definitely has a mind's eye type of ability, similar to what you may have felt when you were near the Illithid and the Mind Flare, where it can communicate and use psionics and could quickly telepathically speak with you, not necessarily in a language, but in pure thought, where you know that it is a little bit more wicked than the spawn were in that regard. But let's see, before we kick off, let me just double check. I don't think we rolled initiative, did we? Okay, we'll
I
start.
think you said we were in the same combat.
Yeah, it looks like that might be on the map where that got saved.
We had just paused
Yeah.
killing the 2 white ones that were laying there, and the cliffhanger was this thing comes out of the water.
Yeah, so I think that means that our turn
We
is...
just killed its babies, right?
Yeah, we're toast.
They're not really babies, and this
Okay,
isn't necessarily something you guys would know offhand, but the Aboleth can make these spawn out of anything that it ingests, essentially.
So they didn't resemble. Yeah, it looks different. I see that.
Yeah, but
It could be us.
it could be
It
you, right?
makes minions.
You
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
looking
yeah.
to refill his inventory of spawns. I think we did lose the turn order, which I don't know what it was, and that's fine. I think we'll just start fresh here. So
There's a bunch of bodies he can use in the other cavern there behind us.
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But yeah, go ahead and we'll just do an initiative separately. We don't have to do a group initiative, but you will want to adjust it for your weapon speed or casting time.
We on the shore,
You are on the shore.
and
I'll
this thing
switch
is
us to the
coming up.
map in a second. I just wanted to, and maybe I should have you roll your turn order when we switch the map, because you guys are gonna move around a bit.
Let's see.
All right, so while you guys are rolling that, I'll read you a description here of the ancient aboleth that has emerged. It is an immense, nightmarish aberration. Its slick, translucent skin shimmers with a slick, bioluminescent glow. Its three massive eyes, glowing a deep hypnotic green, stare with ancient malice. Slime oozes from its tentacles, clouding the water with a mucus secretion that clings to the surface of the water. This is something that you've seen before. Its elongated eel-like body undulates with an unnatural grace, carrying an aura of primordial dread. Every movement disturbs the water, sending echoes of psychic murmurs through the minds of those nearby, which, as that happens, you do feel this thought, this combination of words just kind of almost comes to your own lips as if it was your own thought, where you feel that it says, "You have meddled where you do not belong. I have watched you. You will not scrape further across my world. You will know fear." And with that, I'm going to have everybody make a check here. It's going to be a save versus the fear effect, which would be a spell, save versus spell. If you have other bonuses versus fear, those would apply.
It didn't give me the option to add my +3 to it, so I should have passed mine. I have +3 for fear effects.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
Mm.
So there's a good save. All right, so for those of you that failed, you're going to roll, each of you are going to separately roll your own
We
d4.
roll against fear.
Roll our own what, Jamie?
Wisdom
D4?
check.
Oh, D4.
So that's a wisdom check.
No, it's a save or spell originally versus the fear effect. You want to roll low here. Okay, so you'll roll a d4 then, Chris, as well. All right, so you will be, those of you who have failed and rolled the d4, you are going to be essentially paralyzed with fear for the number of rounds that you rolled here. Okay, you will get an attempt to save again every other round. You will get another attempt to save in between now and the end of this effect, but you won't get one every round. The order that I have here, let me make sure I've got the Aboleth in here. And what does he want to attack on? An 8. Give you guys a chance to do something, hopefully. All right. You are under the fear effect currently for
Yep.
3 rounds. And you'll get a
Did you move us to the map?
Yeah.
So I'll get another roll on round 3.
Oh, I hope the turn order comes with us. Let's see if that does. Yes, okay. All right, so I'll have to drop our
Remember came with, but it's empty now.
Oh, is the turn order empty for you guys?
Yeah, we lost the
Okay.
turn order, but as long as you have it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I can see it. All right, so let me add our creature. There he is. Okay. Adding him into the turn order. So first up is Kurza. He's currently in a trance of fear. And then next up is Griff.
I roll save again, or
You can't roll another save. How many rounds did you roll for fear?
2.
2. Okay. So you'll get a chance to try to break it next and act, but you can't do it this round. All right, Nod. Did you pass your save? Let's see.
He did.
Okay,
He
that's right.
he technically failed, but with the +3
Right.
he passed.
Okay. So
He had darts playing. That's
Alright.
what he rolled initiative for.
Okay. So you can go ahead.
He didn't take too kindly to threats, and he was even tempted to threaten back.
You definitely probably don't like mind games either. So psionic creatures, I'm sure, are not your favorite. Let
No.
me grab my monstrous manual here as well, because I think this thing.
What's a ways off? Probably doesn't even need to get close to us.
Okay, so it's got. I don't know why it has this in here. So your first shot will hit.
the X.
The first dart will hit. So you can roll damage on that one.
A large creature?
Yes. Huge, actually. Alright, it takes some damage here. Alright. Perfect. Next is our creature itself, which is going to slither down this sort of creek side of the pond, if you will, towards you a little bit. And at that point, it will take a couple of swings with its tentacles. Let me just double check. It's
The Sweetwater have any effect?
He had put the sweet water in the murky pond, right, Urza?
Yeah.
yeah, you
Yeah, he
did.
don't.
You had done that. It's not really. What I would say is it takes away maybe a little bit of the aboleth. You can see the more of the aboleth form now than you would have before. It's less murky because typically around the aboleth he lets off a little bit of murkiness, just secretes it naturally and creates his own camouflage. But I think with the Sweetwater, it would have pushed a lot of that out of the pond a little and made it more that he's not obscured. But he is going to do tentacle attacks here. And all right, I think what we've got is 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be Griff, Nod, Kurza, Shalger in that order that are about to have attacks made against them with tentacles.
Good.
Oh my god.
Everybody gets one.
Everybody's gonna get hit here. Wow.
Especially since I'm
Okay, so
immobile at the moment.
yeah,
Yeah, we're all just standing
exactly.
there.
Our mouths open like,
I'm not sure what to do here. Stab at it, chant, grab somebody and pull you away. This is
I only have an arm class of 3 at this point. I'm assuming I get no dex bonus.
All right, so what I'll say here is the 4 of you will go ahead and roll saves versus spell, please.
Hey, I passed. I didn't know whether you're sending it to the GM or not, or whether it's a public roll.
It looks like it sends this to GM, which is one of the settings on your sheet, on each of your sheets that would have to be changed if you wanted them to be public. But it looks like in this case that, and I need to remember that, so I read these out to you all, so I know you're not seeing these, but it looks like Shalger saved, Kurza saved, Griff failed, and Nod failed. Do you guys want to use Astonishing Fortune?
I don't have a very good chance.
Okay.
some
What do you
chances
guys
better
think?
than none. I think you should use it, Griff.
Yes, they might as well. You don't know what might happen, so
This could
sounds
determine.
giving us a chance.
All right, I'll re-roll.
Yeah, I
What
will
about you,
do the
Nod?
same. Yep.
Did he make it?
Okay.
Slightly worse.
Made it.
Griff made it out. All right. You're struck by this. That all of you are going to take some damage from the initial hit. Let's see, I think it's not much just for the tentacle. Attacks. Okay, so yeah, you guys will each take. I guess I'll just roll separate. So for the 4 of you, Okay, there we go. That's a good time to roll low. 2 damage for everyone except Shauser took 3 points of damage. And you are currently grabbed by the tentacle as well. So the 4 of you are grabbed. And then for Nod, you feel like the membrane on the tentacle is starting to ooze out and try to envelop you and envelop your skin. So it's starting to really cover you quickly. The others, they haven't noticed it like that, but yours, for whatever reason, it is doing that. So that's the effect that you're currently dealing with, but you are not in any way paralyzed or anything, so you can continue to act. All right, I think that is it for its turn. I'm going to mark the 4 of you as being held. Oops, I did not mean to roll that again. It is now Saharn's turn.
My goodness. These guys face the possibility of being pulled in and drowned here or what? Oh,
I think that this might be where
if-
this is leading. Yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think Saharn knows more about this thing than anybody, but I don't know. I thought you were the one that rolled and said that's what this thing is
I think
last
so.
time.
This thing is up here.
Yeah, Saharn, you
You would
know
know.
that this thing could basically ingest a creature and then throw it up into a spawn that acts with its mind, basically acts through its intent.
Well, we can't even run away with these guys paralyzed, basically. They're stuck here. Is this a ledge here on the left side, Jamie? Can I run along that?
There's a couple things
Okay.
actually. You can tiptoe across that outer ledge, but with your 4 comrades here, Nod is still able to move, but he is grabbed. So that's, I guess, the difference is I need to put something different on him. But
Hmm.
all 4 of them right now have a tentacle connecting them back to the Aboleth. And Nod is not, though, paralyzed in fear as the other 3 are currently. But
I
yeah,
think I'll just
there you go.
attempt to attack the creature via hitting its tentacle. And who's on the bottom here closest? Can't tell anymore.
Shauser.
Scouser, yeah. I'm going to try to free Scouser by attacking the tentacle.
Okay,
I think I'll stab it, hit it with my spear.
sounds good. Its AC is actually 3. That will not do it, unfortunately.
No,
What did you roll? 2? You did. You rolled a 2.
terrible. Sorry.
Okay, well, you're free still. You're at least able to move around, and you've tried to puncture this thing. Are you going to stay put where you're at?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Shauser, you were one, I think, that was paralyzed with some fear, so you can try to break that effect here.
Yeah, I was paralyzed 1, right?
Oh, you were
So
1. Okay. You and Bart were both
I
1.
rolled a 1.
Weren't you?
He's
Okay, so both of you now are free of the fear effect. But you are
I am
grabbed.
free. Yeah. Wait, where am I grabbed at? Can I can I try and hack at it with my axe? Or
Yeah, I think the tentacle for you would be probably wrapped around your thigh, so you can still grab and use your arms freely.
is that going to be a called shot? So -4.
Yeah,
Or...
you're grabbed. Let's see.
And there's that too. Yeah. So how does this play out?
What are you trying to do with a called shot?
I'm gonna try and chop. Yeah, chop the part of the tentacle that's got me off, right, with the axe. I'm gonna try and cleave it.
Okay.
Don't aim for the part that's actually on your leg. Just aim for a
Right,
big old
right.
portion of it.
Yeah, just right to the
Oh.
outside of it, outside of my leg. Yeah.
Yeah,
just like
hopefully there's no
Asian.
negative there then.
Trying to avoid a penalty. Really a
Yeah.
cult shot. You're really just striking at the only thing you can hit. The thing
That's
that's
true.
literally got you
Yeah.
grabbed.
Yeah,
But
what you can try to do here with your action is you can either try this called shot or you can try to break free, right? And you could either use
like
your
like a
strength.
strength.
Yeah, it'd be a strength
Uh-huh.
based roll, your strength, a strength roll from you versus the Aboleth, and whoever exceeds more would win the tug of war there. So that is an option, or you can try to hit this thing. If you're trying to hit like a small spot, like something very specific, you'd have a -4 to your roll. That's including with being grabbed.
Yeah, so I guess I think I would be so horrified that I would just try and hit it. I'm gonna try that first. So I'm gonna
Okay.
try and whack at it.
Yeah, maybe you can chop the tentacle off.
Didn't get to put in any negative or anything. It looks like I missed.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. All right.
All right.
Hellspawn.
All right, so Bart is up next. Bart, I think, is out of the fear effect here, and you are not grabbed, so you're one of the free ones currently.
Okay. Yeah, I don't see. The only one I see in the turn order is, I think, actually, I don't know.
Yeah, for some
Yeah.
I had
reason,
to, had to I just want to make sure I didn't mess something up. I had to refresh the browser. But
no, it was on my end. I had you guys roll turn order when we were on the art screen, so when we cut over to the map, it became hidden.
sure. All right. Yeah, Bart, when he first became afraid, was beginning to cast spiritual hammers. I think he'd continue with that,
Okay,
and
you want to put
so he
the
would try
hammer
and
out there?
manifest that and hurl it at Aboleth. I don't think there's any additional modifier. All right.
We need to make a spiritual hammer for you to be able to drop on the map.
He pulls out.
You've used that spell a few times, so I think that would be
Yeah.
cool to have. But okay.
He is. He's more of the
I'll-
attack cleric.
I have a question about the math. Like, when you mouse over the AC that you hit, it tells you what you rolled, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says I hit an AC 6.
It says I hit AC 9,
Yeah.
but I rolled a 16. My Thaco is 16, so I should have
No,
hit AC
you
4.
rolled the 4. You rolled the 4.
4.
Oh, okay, and that was with the bonuses and stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. Okay.
It
You rolled the
starts with your
4
Thaco.
plus. Yeah.
Yeah. And then it
I
calculates off of
see.
that.
I see. Okay, thanks. Sorry, I just needed to understand that.
I'm putting your
So
spiritual
at the
hammer in
very
your
Weird
folder,
concept.
Adam. So you
Okay.
can
I'll go
you,
take a look.
you should now be able to take the spiritual hammer and drag it out to use it as a token.
It whiffed, so maybe it like flung past him a little bit.
Okay. All right. That works.
Well, it's waiting till spin back around and hopefully hit him in the back of the head next round.
All right. All right. So next is Kurza.
I'm still standing around.
You get a save this round. I think this is the second round, right? So you get a
This is the second round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I get another save.
save or spell, and you can shake the fear
Cool.
effect.
I should have started enchant.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe not.
You're still scared. So what was your original though? You had a 3, I think. So this is the last round that you would be. I think. Yeah. So you have one more
Yeah, so
round.
next round I'm one more round of paralyzation.
All right, Griff.
That's 2.
All right. This is the second round, and I rolled a 2. Do I roll my save again or shaking it off?
You would shake it off already. You'd be shaking it off here, so you can act.
I can attack.
Yes.
I guess
You can try
Okay.
to either shake the tentacle off, escape the tentacle with your action, or you can attack with your action. Now you are grabbed, and you are the closest, so you'll have a -2 to your attack in this particular situation.
What do I have to do to shake it off?
You can do a strength check versus the Aboleth's strength check, and if you exceed more than he does, you would break free.
I'm gonna try to break free.
Okay. All right.
And can I also yell out at the same time?
Sure. Yeah, that's a free action to.
I want to yell out, Saharn, what is this thing? How do we defeat it?
We can't even get past this thing. Because I would suggest running away.
Okay, so it's gonna roll then. Its check. If its strength is 18 as well. Okay, so it's beat by 13, so it's able to continue grabbing Griff. So it's still got a good grab on you right now, and you're though no longer paralyzed with fear. Although I'm sure you're not feeling too great about the current predicament either. At least you can move somewhat. But next up is Nod.
So
Oh, Good.
So Saharn, what I'm after is what is this thing? What is it? And does it have any properties or anything we can use against it, or does it not like fire? Does it that kind? That's what I was after.
Personally, I don't remember my monster manuals because I haven't looked at them in
Oh,
decades. But I don't think so. Actually, it's an aboleth. I can go out, and it's a killing machine.
But I don't know what Saharn knows.
Yeah, I'll give you, Saharn, some lore of the Aboleth. You basically want to stay outside of the water at all costs. You do not want to get pulled into the water, which it's going to be doing. That's what it's going to be doing on its next action, essentially. And also that you're going to have mind control attempts. It's going to make attempts to do mind control versus you. There's not much you can really do to boost yourselves versus the mind control versus other than just realizing how important it is not to fail that check. The one thing that you know is that killing the spawn already has weakened its mind effects, and its mind effects are amplified by the number of spawn that it has. So that's another fact that you would know. I think that's probably about all that you would maybe think of at the moment, but it is actually Nod's turn.
DM,
Yeah,
is it evil? I'm just curious because I have a 1 inch radius, or maybe it's
it
1 foot.
it
Is it
is. It is.
protection from evil?
It
Okay.
is evil. Yeah.
Yeah, so it gets a -2 to attack, and I get a +2 in my saves.
Okay. Okay.
Looking forward.
Very nice.
That's good.
That's good. I think I'm gonna be getting
All right.
chant on my next turn. But
Well,
It's obviously, yeah.
Nod is attempting to use his longsword.
Okay. Bringing out the big gun. All right.
Yeah.
It's AC 3. Let's see. You are still grabbed by this thing though, so you have a -2 to your attack.
Oh, I think I'm going to use its ability, the Bloodlust, which is +4 to attack ×2 for damage once per day.
Okay.
So I will attempt to hit it, and you said I have a... Ooh, doesn't quite matter. Maybe Astonishing Fortune on that one. Maybe.
I think so. We're gonna need all the help we can get.
yeah,
What do you
you're
guys
blowing
think?
your.
Your
Yeah.
good sword.
The one...
Did you roll?
Yeah,
Did you roll a 1?
Yeah,
I did.
he did roll
I
a
rolled
one.
Yeah.
a 1.
Oh,
There you
Hey.
go. You turned a 1 into a hit. So that's a
There you go.
good astonishing fortune spend there. You're able to slice this thing with your longsword. Are you wanting to try to sever the tentacle, or are you more trying to hit a larger part of the aboleth, like part of its body or something?
If going for the tentacle is, yeah, it's more like a cold shot, then I would just be going for just the big part of it. If the tentacle is like the closest thing to me and easy enough to hit, just the
Yeah,
general part of it, I would
yeah.
go for that.
I'm basically asking because your role would give you the option here of severing the tentacle.
Yeah, I would aim for that first, of course.
Okay, so
Dragging me in would not be good, or anybody.
yeah, you sever this large tentacle off of this thing, and it definitely winces from the chop, but
With the ability of the thing, it's also ×2 damage. So with that, it'd
oh
be
wow,
what, 10,
54.
20, or it'd be 26
We have
just for the damage for the sword, not including any bonuses.
I
Or
see,
20,
I see,
yeah,
yeah, 26,
and then plus all the other bonuses, 14, 40,
40 more. Okay, gotcha.
holy smokes!
40 total.
So I think it's
You sliced off the tentacle from the body.
I would think so. 40 points to one tentacle.
that. There we go. Okay, yeah,
Yeah, really.
you definitely, like I said, severed this tentacle and have sprayed the area with this bluish black murky ooze, but you've also freed yourself from that. So I'm going to take that icon off of you, and you are free again. It is, I think that's it. Then it is back to the Aboleth, who is going to try to pull those on the banks towards the water. So for Griff, Kurza and Shauger, you guys can make. You're gonna make strength checks here separately versus the Aboleth. So I'll have Griff go.
Nod has gloves of missile snare. Is there any way I can attempt to
Jeez,
grab
man.
people as missiles before they get dragged in?
No, unfortunately.
Fair enough.
Probably going swimming.
Cool.
Okay, so you're still gonna go against the Aboleth's check. So we'll see. I'll roll these 3 together. So it would actually
no
have
way.
it would actually have lost to Griff and
That's insane.
lost to Shauger as well, because it only beat by 4. You beat by 10. You beat by 0. It failed by 2. And then for
I
Kurza,
was lucky.
it's got you pulled in. So it's for the others. You're holding yourself on the bank fine, but Kurza, you're now being pulled into the water. So you've been pulled closer to into the water off the bank and towards the Aboleth. All right, let's see. What is the other action it gets here, if any? Okay, so for the others who are still connected as well to this thing, it is oozing again this mucus from the tentacle onto you. So you're gonna make a save versus what is it? What's the spell again? Why doesn't it say it is spell? I'm sorry. Yeah, it is spell. And this was the effect that was starting to take place to you, Nod, which I forgot to mention more about, which is that your skin, where the Aboleth tentacle was touching you, started to turn translucent. As you can imagine, that is a little bit unsettling, and you were able to stop slow and stop all of that by severing yourself from the tentacle. But for the others, this is the first time you're noticing that your skin is starting to be irritated and turn this translucent color. So who saved here? Griff saved,
I've
Shauger
saved all through it.
and I'm sorry, this is a new check. So this is for all of you again to do a save versus spell. You guys are noticing your skin in and around where the contact is being made is starting to turn translucent. Other than that, it's not probably that noticeable, but it's slimy. It's got this slime that's starting to wrap itself around you. Fun stuff. That's it for the Aboleth, though, fortunately. And this brings us to Sahagin.
Oh my word. Just saw Kurza drug out in front of us, right?
Yeah, he's in the
Yep.
water. He's getting drug into the main
So
area.
can he possibly drown here? Keep going under? I guess I'm just going to dive in after him and try to save him by attacking the tentacle that's wrapped around his body. Can I do that?
Sure, you could run on that ledge and jump and try to hit that tentacle. I think what might be challenging is you feel like a slashing weapon to really sever the tentacle. Otherwise, you may not get it to break free from him.
If I think to finally pull out and try that longsword, would I have a chance at it?
Yeah, I would say so. You're free. You're not grabbed, so your movement is
Do it.
All right, so I'll just drop my spear and pull the longsword, run, and then jump, slash at that thing.
nice. Okay, I love it.
But
The last
do I need-
the last time you jumped off of something to attack a creature, everything went great for you too, right?
It all ended well
Yeah.
killed the monster and
eventually.
myself. Yeah,
With the stop in the
That's
afterlife.
true.
But
right. Let's go stop over.
The short term and the long term are definitely two different outcomes. Okay, that unfortunately is not going to hit.
That's terrible. All right, but we're trying.
But yeah, you'll basically splash into the water then. I guess that was your intent, was to jump in and try to hit this thing.
Yep.
So you're
Is this over our heads here? Are we going under?
in the depth that you're in, it's pretty deep already. So even just off the
Okay.
bank, it's deep. Yeah, it pulls
All
you
right.
straight under.
You could be in trouble.
But you're in there next to
Yeah.
him, and let's see, Shauger is next.
I'm
Do it.
next, huh?
You're next, yeah. And I
Um,
think you're now
So I'm still
just
held.
grabbed by this thing. Yeah, you're free of your
Yeah.
fear. You're grabbed.
So last go, I tried to swing at it and I missed. So this time I'll try and use my strength
Okay.
to break free.
All right.
Make a strength check.
I'll roll first and tell you what you got to beat. So you got to beat a 5. You got to beat by 5.
Okay, I clicked it. I don't know that it. Oh, I see. I put the pop-up thing in.
You clicked dramatic pause next to it.
Yeah.
Well, you
There it
Ooh,
is. There it
easily
is.
yeah,
whip this thing
Wow.
off of you
nice.
like it's
All right,
nothing.
and I see it's Dragon Curza, or is that my action? That's probably my action, right? Yeah, but I want to move closer.
That's your action. You can move. You could definitely move.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to like leap across the water, or are you just jumping in the water?
I'm trying to leap across it. Yeah.
So you
And I've
can
got the.
make a dex check to make the footwork, and then if that works for you,
Okay.
you'll be standing on the bank.
All right.
There you go. That's enough. It's
Cool.
slippery, and you do feel your footing kind of slide when you land it, but you do stick the landing and maintain your balance. So you can get to the edge and be looking down towards Schauser or towards Kurza and
Okay. Cool.
all right. That is then I think it for that round. I think we're now to Griff.
To me or Kurza?
Oh, I'm sorry, it is Kurza. I
Yeah,
see
the
that
turn
you-
order. I only see Curza in there, or now I see no one.
Okay, yeah, you should see no one right now.
cleared it.
Well,
So
this is my third paralysis, so it wears off at the end of this turn.
And then the big guns will be out.
yeah, so let's see. You're just grabbed essentially. You did feel the effect of the mucus that's starting to envelop you, but you are in the water right now. So I think for you, probably the first thing is if you're trying to keep your head above water, I would think you're going to need to make a strength check to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be submerged, which is going to limit probably what some of the things you can do are.
Actually succeeded.
So yeah, and in this case, you're good. You can keep your head above water momentarily, or at least while you're being pulled by the tentacle, so that you can think and potentially do something. Now, I think unfortunately, it's gonna be difficult to cast much here, but I'll let you think if there's some other action you want to take.
But yeah, I want to cast something.
I guess magic missile would be one of those things that could be cast, right? Something verbal only would be fine.
Well, let's see then.
Yeah, shocking
What
grass.
is verbal
Or
only?
touch, yeah, if you have a touch.
Yeah,
Shocking grass and everything in the water is now electrified, including
Right.
your plant.
Everyone takes, yeah.
Yeah, except I don't have any of those. Let's see. Where can I get the magic missiles, verbal somatic?
I would be fine with the magic missile. I think I'll tell you what I would say is if you want to make a dexterity check, you've already made a strength check, right? You've got your head above water. If you want to make a dexterity check to also make sure that you're able to move your hand the way that's necessary to satisfy that condition of the spell, then you can cast magic missile. I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, there's the dex check. Well, yeah, let's go with the magic missile. What the heck?
Yeah, why not? Yeah, that would be cool visually
One at
for
each
the group
eye.
as you're getting pulled in. All of a sudden, these light bursts come from you and head towards the eye of the Aboleth. Go for it. You can roll damage.
I'm already set.
Okay. All right. Okay, got it.
7 damage. Not a whole lot, but
It's all right though. You're resisting pretty well given your situation.
yeah.
Okay.
At least now its body has actually taken damage. A small smidgen.
True. That's
but
true. That
okay.
is true. You've hit the eye, which definitely would be the first time its main core has been hit. All right, now we're at Griff.
I'll try to break free.
All right,
Yeah,
strength
make it
versus
run
strength
away.
here.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, you did! You
Oh,
broke free. You broke
First
free.
20. Sweet.
That's
twice.
amazing. That's what
Nice.
happened
Is that the
before.
second one?
It's the second
Wow.
time he's done that.
That's the second time. The
Yeah.
first time I rolled 18 and he rolled a 20. Wow. Okay.
All right, so let me take
So
that off
can
of
I
you.
attack?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, let me take this. Yep,
All right.
go ahead.
So get both attacks, or do I just get one?
You get one attack, I would say. That'd be fair.
Okay.
Who's? Okay, those two are grabbed. Shouser, you're free of yours, so let me take that off of yours as well. That is gonna miss, unfortunately, by a little bit. All right, so that should be it. Griff is free. The only one now that's grabbed, as far as I know, or affected by the spell condition, is Kurza.
I
Your
think
I will.
Bart failed his last fear check too.
Oh, he's still in fear. I thought Bart was.
No, that this was the last turn that I was in fear.
Was it
Okay.
last round? I think last round I rolled and failed. So however long that.
Oh no, you're good. You're free of it. Yeah, no, I know you're
Okay.
free of it now, Bart. But it's
Right.
Griff's up. Go ahead, Griff.
Just attacked.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. And Nod's up.
I think Nod is going to attempt to step up like
For
past
it,
Griff.
man.
If he'll let me and take a swing with the
I'll
sword
allow
since
it.
he still has it.
Yes.
Okay.
Make it afraid of us.
Bart, you were attacking with spiritual hammer.
Yeah, you were a spiritual hammer. That's what I was just
Yep.
thinking. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, that will miss as well. The AC 8.
Skin is tough.
Yeah, it's been tough hitting this thing so far for y'all, but you
It
actually
has, yeah.
you've done a fair amount of damage to it. It's
Have we?
yeah, it's looking as if it's taken some overall damage. It's
Fuck.
had a couple of it's had the tentacle chopped off. It's had Nod hit it with a dart, and magic missiles hit it in the eye. So it's definitely taken a few of its own, but it is still fighting pretty fearlessly and does not seem as if it is relenting, and it is going to try here to
Overconfident.
it's going to try to fire off some tentacles at its nearest options here. So it's going to fire one, go in the order of, and Saharn, I know you're in the water with it, so it's trying to grab you with the tentacle first. Then it's going to try firing one at Nod and wrapping him, and then it's going to try to grab Griff again.
Well,
So it's got
doesn't it have only 3 tentacles now?
it has,
And I'm covered by
it
one.
does have one less tentacle overall because Nod did chop one off, but it has
And
6.
I'm in one now.
Yeah, it has 6 tentacles overall.
Oh damn.
So, all right, so it's gonna try. Let's see, to hit you all. 1,
Crap.
2, 3, 4.
I
No,
think it
3
is
of you.
all down.
Okay, so that is AC 4 that hit.
5.
Okay, so he hits.
Yes.
Then it's AC 4 for Nod.
That is a hit as well.
Hit. Okay, and then it's okay. Griff, yeah, it'll hit you as well. It's AC 0. You are all going to be grabbed again by this tentacle, and you can roll a save or spell, please. So at this point, the tentacles are really oozing with this mucus. They're very slimy, and it's almost like a sticky. As it's wrapped on you, it's sticky, and it's really starting to get all over your skin, and you're feeling your skin is changing. It's like almost like it's changing texture a bit, and that mucus is continuing to cover your skin. And so the more you're exposed to it, the more it seems to spread on your body. Okay, but let's see, for damage, the 3 of you are going to take. Saharn will take 4, Nod will take 2, and Griff will take 4. All right, that is the extent of its turn, and it is now Saharn's turn.
I guess I'm going to try to struggle and break free from this thing.
Okay.
Can I stab at it with my sword?
You are in the water as well. So in your situation, being a very good swimmer, you could use dex or strength to try to escape it. I will say that it is far stronger than it is dexterous, if that
Yeah.
benefits you, but your call.
Dex is such a low stat for me. I
Oh, okay.
won't even attempt it. So let's do that. Or
I was
dex,
confused because
dex
your
is-
dex looks pretty
sorry.
good. Okay, so you
Yeah.
beat it by 11. Let's see. Its dex is not that good. Okay, so its dex is actually a 9. It beat it by
So
5, but that is not enough. So you're able to wiggle free very easily just by swimming and twisting yourself. Given that, you could still take an action if you'd like.
I could. Then still, Kurza looks, if I'm looking at the icon, is still wrapped up in this thing.
Yeah, he is.
And yep, and probably starting to drown. Can I
No,
go
I'm
up?
not actually.
His head's above water, but you don't
Oh,
know
that's
for how
right.
long.
Yeah.
You don't
My
know.
amulet of water breathing will keep me from drowning.
Excellent. I didn't know. That's nice to have.
I just now realized I had one.
Just now, yeah. Pull it out of your
What can
back
I do?
pocket.
What can I do? And it's, oh, wait a minute. I'm wearing that.
I'm gonna go take a stab at the tentacle and try to free or slice Kurza open. Not or tentacle open.
Yeah, no, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely-
don't slice me open. That'd be a
Yeah.
bad thing.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that would be a critical miss. A
No, I
fumble,
rolled a
as
1.
they call it. Yes, you rolled a 1.
Oh, goodness.
I'm not
Oh, give
familiar
it
with
more
this
Fortuan.
long sword.
Yeah, that could be it, right? It's the first
Yeah.
time that you've really tried this, and when treading
I
water
may
too, right?
end
All
up
right,
cutting
reroll
Kurza
maybe.
open.
Do you want to
That's
use a
3
fortune, or do you
left.
want to take your chances on the fumble table?
Oh my goodness.
We have barely scraped the results from the new fumble table. I can say that we've
You're
Yeah?
just
since
itching.
because
You're just
session
itching
50,
for him
I
to
put
use
a
it.
brand new one in, and
Should
there,
we humor the DM? We have used quite a few rolls already. Like how many of those do we've used? At least
yeah,
3.
where
Three
where
left.
are we? We're 3. Okay,
That's
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
3 fortune left. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to do that. You do what you think works best, because I've got you all in a tight spot here. So you do what you think is best.
Literally a tight spot.
I think I need to free my friend because I feel his life would be in danger in this situation. So I will reroll that.
All right, it is not a fumble, so that is the good news there.
Yeah.
Which it could have been, you could have ended up hurting him or doing something else. So it's good probably that you got rid of that. All right, think then that you're free. You've wiggled free. I think we are now to Schauser.
All right, what's the status of the wizard? What's going on with Kurza?
I'm hanging on to the edge.
Barely
Is
has
he
his head-
underwater?
barely has his head above water right now. The Aboleth is content just holding him in the water for the moment, but you're sure that he's going to attempt to pull him closer at some point. But for now,
All right.
for now, you do see his head above water.
I'm gonna try and go ahead.
Is the Aboleth above water?
It kind of goes up and down a little bit in the water, but its head, for the most part, it keeps above the water during the battle.
How many tentacles does it have?
It has
Total.
5 left. Yeah.
5 left.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take a swing at the tentacle holding Kurza before it drags it down. Hope.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
I'm gonna
Axe chop
Um
to the tentacle.
yeah, and I tried to chop the first time and failed, and then I had a round where I did the strength instead. So this round, would it count as a 2 attacks this round, or 1 with the axe? Like
I think
because I interrupted the. I have 3/2, right?
with an axe you have 3/2.
With specialization.
Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's heroic, and I'm rule of cool on that. I think you should get 2 attacks.
I'm hoping so, because this is not looking good for us, Jamie. Like
I would say on hitting this thing, if you're just aiming to sever the tentacles, it's gonna be AC 2 though. So you're gonna get
Okay,
2 shots
all right.
at it.
All right, here we go. Bring it up.
Tactically, you're right. It's
Oh,
not looking cool, but hit point wise,
Yep.
that
Let me-
is
good.
a
Let me try
1.
again.
That was a 1.
But you only you got to roll a fumble first, right?
Yeah, you gotta roll. You have to
Oh.
roll a 1.
Unless we want to
That was-
re-roll. We got two
That was me
astonishing
rolling.
fortune.
Yeah, let me do an astonishing fortune. We're just like burning
Okay.
it really
Down
fast
to
Okay,
this
one.
so
time.
the
Yeah,
fortune would
hopefully
be the
nobody dies.
1. I'll take the 1 as your. So that's a hit. So you can roll damage for that.
Let's
All
go.
right, is it a size large?
Yeah, it's huge. It's,
I guess it doesn't matter with this battle axe. So there we go.
okay, 7 damage to the tentacle. Okay.
And then let me take another swing because I used this astonishing
Yep,
fortune.
and you have another. Oh, that is a big one.
Oh,
Great
All
roll.
Yeah.
right.
nice. That
That
20.
astonishing fortune paid off.
I guess it did. All right.
Oh.
You can roll on the critical hit table for.
I'll do that first.
Yeah, do that first, and then if it wants you to roll damage, then you can roll damage. But there's a chance it. Let's see. Okay, so I guess this just meant this wouldn't have really done anything per se, but
Okay.
it will be double damage, so you could just roll
Cool.
regular damage. All right. Okay, this thing is looking pretty weakened now after seeing this second tentacle fall off of it. It's definitely losing a lot of its limbs and everything else, so it's definitely showing some signs of wear and tear, but it's not there yet.
Do something, you daft wizard. Do something.
It's
Now that I'm not paralyzed,
actually
know, yeah.
Bart first. Bart, you do have the spiritual hammer still going, or you could
Yeah.
do
am I
something else
free
if
of
you'd
the
like.
tentacle now, Jamie?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're free. I'll mark you free.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yep. He's gonna whip the hammer around again. Ooh, that actually
Ooh.
worked.
Nice one.
Wow.
And let's see. This is versus large. Minimum damage. two points of damage from the hammer.
Wow.
It adds to the pot.
It adds
There you
to it,
go.
and like I said, it's weakened now. Like it definitely doesn't seem to have the same vigor that it did have earlier. So it's noticeably weakening, but again, it's hellbent as well. It's not something that you're gonna shake its morale. With that, I think. Do you want to stay in place, Bart? Are you good where you're at?
Oh yeah, I meant to move up a little bit here actually. 'Cause
Okay. All right. Looks good. All right, now we're back to the top of the order to Kurza, who's now free, but in the water. I guess this is probably a good point where we should take a look. Does Kurza is he able to swim? Does he have the swimming proficiency? Or I know he's got water breathing. You can always go underwater, but I'm just curious, can he swim? Party
I've got
proficiency.
seamanship, but that's about it. I don't have specifically swimming.
Does
I
anyone else?
got you, man.
Okay. Yeah, you've got outs here. I just wanted to. It's going to be hard for you at this point to find something to push yourself off of to keep your head above water without being much of a swimmer, and it doesn't look like you're a swimmer. So you can breathe
Well, can I just
underwater.
cast a fireball?
No, you're not gonna be able to cast a fireball from treading in the water. Now, if you could get yourself out of the water, then I'd buy that.
Well, I want to try and make it down here. Because I'm
So
only a little ways away from one side or the other of this
it's a strength check.
patch of water.
You basically are gonna have to pass a strength check with flying colors to swim to your wanted destination. So if you want to make a strength check, see how much you.
Oh boy.
Okay, so you're not gonna be able to do that. Unfortunately, you're not gonna be
Can
able
I just
to.
walk it then? Since I rolled a fail, I'm on the bottom. I might as well just walk over.
You could sink to the bottom, but the bottom is below. Your head would be below water. Below water.
Like I said, I don't have any problem breathing water.
Okay. Yeah, I would say
Hide down there, maybe.
with the idea of sinking in the water next to the Aboleth, you will need to make another save versus spell because you're essentially swimming in the mucus next to its torso.
Yeah, I don't want. No, I want to at least try and get away from him. I
Okay.
don't want to get closer to it.
Yeah,
I want to get away from it.
but I think because you failed your strength check is why I'm saying that you're not. That's why you're gonna have to make a save or spell to try to avoid the mucus effect. You're in a close proximity to it. But yeah, that'll just be for the effect that is basically converting your skin texture. Okay.
Let me do the last of the astonishing fortune for that. I don't want to critical fail that.
That's up to y'all. You guys are the gatekeepers of the astonishing fortune.
I say blow it all before mid-session break, and we can wing it the second half.
Happens
Oh
if you fail,
my,
you
that
just
was.
don't make it.
Look at that, from a 1 to a 20. What? You guys have
It's
really.
weird.
So worth it. So worth
You've
it.
really done well
But
with the
did you
astonishing
re-roll it?
fortune. Yeah, he did.
Did
He
you
got a
re-roll?
1 on the first check, and then he got a 20 on the second check. So it's a. He went from a critical failure
I'm
to a
only
critical
seeing
success.
one strength check.
He rolled it. Yeah, his is showing as GM only for whatever reason. I don't.
For strength check?
No, for his saver spell. So that should be good. You're clear of those effects, Kurza. And unfortunately,
Cool.
though, you're still floating in the water out there, not making your way away from the thing. So, Griff, it's to you. I think you're one of the 2 that are grabbed here.
Yeah. Would I be able to get both attacks if I just attack it since I'm standing right next to it?
Yeah, it's only had you held for 1 round, so it's not got your arms wrapped up. So I don't
I'm
have a
just gonna
problem with
attack
2
it.
attacks. Yeah, I would advise to attack. Ugh, unfortunately, that one will miss, though. That one will hit.
It's large, right?
Yes, it
That's
is
fine.
huge. All right. All right. You completely sever this third tentacle from this thing, and you see the Aboleth then really wincing in critical pain, and it drops Nod and begins to try to pull away backward into the waterway. It looks like it's retracting itself. Nod, you see this happening. It's gonna be your turn next. You've just been
Finish
let
it,
go
man.
by this thing.
I will attempt to throw some darts at it.
Okay.
Don't you dare run, you coward.
Yeah, it's trying to retreat. It's trying to retreat, and I'll move the hammer for now over here. Let's see you got 2 hits. Come on.
Ooh.
Let's get some damage on him. There we go.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
Nod. All right, Nod.
Ooh, man.
You tell us, how did these 2 darts sink the ship of the Aboleth?
I'm going to say it was kind of aimed. One of them like hit him like center mass. The other one kind of hit him in the back of the head and maybe just went a little too deep and into his brain.
Nice, nice. And you throw these things with such force that's lodged into this, back of this thing's head as it gurgles, and you see it almost release that mucus fluid into the water around it as it sinks down into the center of that open pool area, and it is dead.
Does it wail in our heads? Does it psionically? when it
Yes, I
does?
think you would have heard its pain in your head as it released you on Griff's hit as well. During that particular hit, it would have been in a critical point, and then when Nod hit it in the back of the head, it would have been almost like just like this last spewing of thoughts that raced out of its mind and into yours. And I think with that, you might even catch glimpses of its own vision of where you see it spying on you all as you were coming through the caverns originally.
Mm.
You could almost see
Oh.
exactly what it was seeing as it was lurking in the
Yeah.
corner, watching you all pass through weeks ago before now returning. So it's definitely got a lot of thoughts and things like that it dumps out, but it is the fear effect and the aura of this thing fade quickly with the darts.
So it just let us pass through the first time we came through, huh?
it didn't get a chance to. It did not get a chance to try to strike you. You guys originally, what it would do if you lurked in here, is it would have made an attempt to sneak attack you with the tentacles and pull you in. But you guys really did not lurk in here when you first came. You quickly left this layer. You didn't spend a whole lot of time, and it was patiently hunting, and you were not patient to let it hunt you. And in this case, the spawn, I think fighting the spawn on the edge of the water is really more of what got its attention. But yeah, it seems like also, I think from the vision that you got, that it was looking at you previously, not even in this room. If you remember back in the area where you laid Quig to rest, you can see as
Yeah,
it's
that's why.
watching you put Quig to rest.
Is that the mushroom cavern?
So this cavern,
Under?
it can
It's
definitely
back in that
pass through the
Yeah,
that
waterways.
pool where
Yes. Yeah.
there's a sweet watered the first
Right.
pool.
I've
So
got
it,
Right.
two
it,
left,
it,
so
it knew
we
you were
can
coming.
finish on this one.
It knew you were coming more when you were coming back than it did when you were coming through originally. But it saw you both times, and so it's had you on its mind for a while, but now it has
Hmm.
death on its mind. So
Well, okay, that's a good.
Is not, are you hurt?
Yeah, Nada's missing a little bit of health.
I think you're the only one that's really looks like
He's-
you've taken any damage or any significant amount. I mean,
He took the worst of it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, a solid heal would not hurt. You wouldn't waste anything.
I'll put in the last two Sweetwater potions.
Giving you a heal, hopefully it's solid. No.
Just to clarify this
Oh, no.
water.
Thank you. It feels much better.
Didn't I have the same problem? Yeah, last time we played. Did I roll a lot of low numbers on healing?
Yeah, I think there was that trend for sure.
Yeah, Bart's got a couple.
The numbers add.
So
Yeah, I still got 3, but yeah.
I think as you all step out of the water and around back to this, I don't know, maybe this open area, Kurza, you're feeling like your skin is almost burning. And as you look at your skin, it's changed its texture. It's starting to look a little bit more like the spawn's skin looked, where it
Yeah.
was like this translucent, clear, mucusy texture to it. And it's really just even being out of the water for maybe a minute or two, you start to notice how much your skin is burning and irritated to the point that you want to get back in the water.
Can I pour some Sweetwater potion on it and see what happens?
You can.
Do it.
You can.
Can I get some healing?
Say instead, can Nod like
Correct
offer
it.
the endless water cup and start like trying to rinse them
mean-
off with clean water?
I would say that, let's see, I think probably Saharn would be, since Saharn is the, and Bart, you two would probably be the two that could look at this and realize that this is probably something that would have to be treated with, it's more of a disease, it looks like to you.
Just the very spell I was looking up.
Yeah. So it looks like it's more
we
of a
have,
disease than it is anything
Yeah.
that could be
Yeah.
affected
We-
by sweet water.
Do we have
Bart
do we
can
have any
cast
herbs or
disease.
anything we can use, Saharn, that would help with this?
A prayer for cure would work. In other words, I have a cure disease. Bart does too. 3rd level spell, right?
Yeah, it's 3rd level,
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either a cure disease or maybe a
The fir-
strong
Is that-
heal or of some kind. I don't know.
Is this happening to all of us, Jamie?
It slowly
That
seems like it's
the mucus-
happening to all of you who failed checks. Yeah, it would be Nod, Griff, but it's accelerated on Kurza because he really got soaked in this. The others are the effects are more localized, but for Kurza it's like all over his body at this point.
Nothing
Right.
personal, wizard. But if you turn into one of those things, I'm gonna burn ya.
Please do. I have a nice fireball I can use on myself. Cleansing fire for everybody.
So I don't know.
What is
It
this
does sound like
token,
you do
though?
have 2 abilities to cure disease.
I have 2 3rd level spells.
Okay, so
Yeah.
how many do you have? 2 as well then? Bart?
Bart's got 3 available to cast for
Oh, okay.
Cure Disease. Yeah.
Okay. So
Excellent.
basically, you guys, the two of you, would determine that the only thing that's going to do the job here is going to be a Cure Disease spell, and it's going to most severely be needed on Kurza first, but also Nod and Griff have the same effect. Schauser, I don't think you did. I don't think you had. I think you had passed that one with. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I had that right. Yeah.
It grabbed me, but I don't. Yeah, I
You-
don't think I didn't
yeah.
fail a save.
You had the
Oh.
fear originally, but you didn't have the effect from the mucus. So, yeah. So that'll be 3
Mm.
cure diseases that you guys realize that you'll have to cast in order to free them of the effects. Otherwise, Kurza specifically, and eventually the others, will be suffering 1d. What is it? Let me find what it was. 1d12 points of damage without keeping your water, or your, it's 1d12 points of damage each turn that you don't keep your skin damp. So that's where it's headed. So I assume you guys are gonna
Alright.
cast the spells here.
Yeah, Bart will come
Yeah.
over, and do you want to cast one?
Even
And
burn both
I'll
mine
use
if
2
you-
of them. So I can burn 2 of them. That'll leave me a 3rd level spell left if you want to do
Okay,
one of
then
them.
I'll
Then
keep
yeah,
Okay.
a slot open. Thank you. Sure,
Yep.
Yeah,
let's
and
do that.
and so as you lay hands on them and chant this remove disease spell, you can see the skin tone changing back to its normal tone and texture. Unfortunately, Kurza, you do still see that you're marked by the bond on your forearm, and it hasn't changed tone, but it is still there. However, you don't feel the burning and irritation any longer, and the sickness of the aboleth. So, you guys are all free of its effects.
We're down with the sickness.
So I think this is probably a good spot for the mid-session break. A little early, but leave you guys on the edge of the water after
It's
defeating
not really.
the ancient aboleth, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Pick it up from there.
All right,
All right.
sure. Thank you.
All right, I'm back. I just reading more about this aboleth. There were some gruesome things we didn't get to.
I was gonna say, I think we got off lucky.
That's okay. We don't need the gruesome things. Yeah.
I think, yeah, your numbers helped you in this case. There's it only has so many eyes and tentacles, although it has more than it should. It's not quite enough to get into all the fun stuff that it can do. But
It's
it's
a good
still,
thing everybody showed up.
it
We had the
definitely
extra
helps.
attacks.
Definitely helped a
Yeah.
lot. I don't know where that would have headed. It could have gotten dark quick. Honestly, it didn't take much in the way of damage. It wasn't doing a lot of damage via the tentacle attack, but that was just the beginning of what it really does.
Yeah.
And
At one point, I think there was 3 or 4 of us that were held.
yeah, out of the gate it hit 4 of you. I think I rolled a 16, 17, 16, 17 on the 4 attacks.
We were all frozen in fear too.
Yeah. So it definitely crept up on you, and you've removed yourselves of those effects. I think you've shook off some of that mental attack that it does as it tries to cause fear and create confusion. Most of you resisted that, and now you feel that subside as well. What would you like to do here from the banks of the Aboleth River?
I'd like to put some distance between us and this area.
I agree. Let's scamper on.
All right. So there, if you remember, the northeast corner of this room has a ledge that you climbed down initially, so you can all go ahead and give me a dexterity check, or if somebody wants to be the first and go and set a rope, you could do that as well. But it's about, I think, a 30-foot climb, so you'll need to do a dex check to get up there.
I'm a pretty good climber, although not
Where
as
are we climbing?
I was gonna say we have thieves.
You're climbing up to,
Want to climb up
on
and
the
secure
ledge,
a rope?
the cavern continues upward back towards the upper dark, and
Oh, okay.
so that's the area between where the Minotaur Labyrinth is and where you are now.
Are we gonna go to the center of that labyrinth?
Yeah,
We were
Yeah.
talking about it.
that
Yeah.
was the plan. Yeah.
Okay.
You can do it again,
So-
Kurza, because it's not like you fell. You're already on the ground. Well, that time, no.
Somebody is somebody climbing up
Good.
with a rope?
Kurza
or
was
not?
trying to, but he did not succeed. That rolled to me because it was a thief check at climb walls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is the thing to change the?
That's a good question, because I don't
settings.
mind at all everybody seeing the...
It's in the sheet settings, but I think when we tried it last time, it didn't change it to
Yeah.
be able to show
When you
everybody.
say
You
sheet
get to see it.
settings,
I've got a 75% chance to climb rock faces,
Okay. That's
Perfect.
pretty good. That's better
and I
than...
have rope use
Well,
too, so I
Curse's,
just need some.
Curse's was
Alright, yeah.
70.
Secure a rope.
Curse's chance was 70, and he failed twice.
Does someone have rope?
No.
Yes.
Oh,
Not
I
has
got
rope
rope.
and a grappling hook.
Okay.
Right.
I've got rope.
And now I can climb walls too.
Correct. Probably. Possibly.
You have climb wall skill. I don't know how much you've put in it, but
Not much.
I think
Some.
Minotaurs get a racial negative to that, right? Because of their size
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
But even with the negative.
Okay, there you go. Nod. This is like Nod's backyard, so he climbs straight up, no problem with the rope, and you can drop down, tie off, or use the grappling hook and drop down the rope for the others. So the rest of you can just climb up the rope here. I won't even make you roll for this. I think just getting somebody up there is enough that you're able to now use the rope, pull yourselves up, and now you're in a long cavern that ascends and returns you back towards what you remember being a series of caves, and then beyond that, the Minotaur maze. So, what is your marching order in this situation? And anything else you guys want to do?
Did anybody else need a cure light or something before we delve too much
I'm
further?
down 9.
Yeah, I was thinking of Nod might still need something.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm 42 out of 51.
Sure, I can toss you one
I
here.
think I'm okay. But, yeah.
There's
Alright.
7.
Is that for Griff? Yeah.
All right, I'm good, guys.
Yeah, so I'll bring us over to...
Marching order. I was thinking like we did when we were going through the caverns. Grip, then nod. You follow behind. We move 10 feet. Look through the gem. Sniff. We move again.
All right, so I'm gonna put it in order here from left to right with Nod first, right? You're saying Nod's first, then who?
Griff first, and then
Oh,
nod.
Griff, sorry. Then Nod.
Yeah.
Okay, then who would be coming up after that in the marching order, guys?
I'll take third or fourth.
Third? Is this
I can see in the dark,
is
and
this basically
I'm
what you
not-
guys
That's
want?
good.
Like that? Is that fair? Okay.
I can keep quiet. Now,
I'll stay back here with the healers.
All right, yeah. You're in reach of the back as well, in case something comes back there. It's good to have a melee in the front and the back. All right, you guys are ascending, and you definitely remember when you came through here before, it was a lot easier. As you start to climb up out of here, you're realizing how much ascension there really is. And I need everybody to do constitution checks.
Oh,
just to see how the group is getting along here. This is usually the dump stat, but you guys actually have some impressive constitutions.
I failed.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but you still, yeah, overall your cons aren't terrible.
How's Kurza looking?
Oh,
So what,
And Saharn, oh my goodness.
yeah, what you're
He rolled
starting
a
to
20.
notice is just that they're getting sluggish and slowed from constant ascension and elevation that, again, you just didn't even realize before when you were coming down this. But now that you're going up for hours and hours, you're going pretty much up this rugged cavern, and you remember the terrain. You definitely remember the terrain, but I'm just calling out the fact that going uphill right now is way more exhausting, and it's maybe helping you get a sense of how far under the water you are and underground you are right now, where you were and where you're going. But along the way, you'll remember there were a couple of other caves that went in opposite directions, and there was a place that you came across initially when you left the Minotaur maze that had a dwarven rune in the cavern, and the dwarven rune indicated that Myth Nantar was this way, kind of thing. And Baden very much wanted to go that way, but Renwick, who was with you, wanted to go deeper to the Middle Dark where you just came from, right? Ultimately, you went deeper. Now you're coming back, right? And you're coming back up to this same intersection where a cave breaks off to the, I guess it would be the east from this perspective. And you recall that's the cave where you had the conversation with Baden, pleading with him not to leave and go that way towards Myth Nantar, but to go to the Underdark, which is all water under the bridge. I say all that to give you now the chance to decide if you're passing this by and continuing up the steep cave towards the Minotaur Labyrinth.
We
What are
have
your thoughts?
unfinished business with the Minotaur, yeah?
yeah.
I look at Nod.
Indeed, it would best we finish what we started.
Agree.
So you pass this cave again, and it starts to level out a little bit, but it's been a really long day of climbing up and through these caves to the point that you are now feeling exhausted on top of your combat. So it's at that point where you're pretty much you're going to be rolling Constitution if you want to continue and make your way all the way to the Minotaur Cave, or set up camp and rest here along the way.
Is it
Maybe we should.
literally taking us hours to
Yeah.
climb to?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we see any
Yeah.
good places to camp on the way?
So you
Like-
guys can do wisdom checks. I think if any of you have nature or survival, I think that's actually the one you're supposed to use, is
Griff.
survival. Yeah, so Griff can easily find a big enough space that would be suitable for everybody to lay and get the rest that they need. Just even at this point, again, it would be leg exhaustion. But it's been a long day if you guys think about it. If we're thinking from the last time you rested, a lot has happened. And so Griff finds a spot, and you get yourselves enough space that you can all spread out. Anybody want to talk about what you're doing and thinking on the way here? I think ironically, it's like you're not that far from the Myth Nantar, the rune that leads to Myth Nantar, and you're not that far probably from the Minotaur cave, but you're still a ways. So it's an interesting spot to be pulled up resting.
Have we
Are we-
found any indications that our traitorous mage has gotten here before us?
I'm gonna take his survival check here to be tracking check as well. I assumed you guys were curious about that, and I would say it looks very much untouched. No, you don't see any sign of the mage Baden. The last you saw was in Procamper.
If he came this way, maybe he got eaten by the Aboleth.
He could have been one of the spawn.
Could have
Is
been.
that what you're
True.
saying?
So are we?
We don't
Are we in a small cave? So there's only an entrance in and out.
Yeah, it's only as wide as in certain places, maybe as wide as 20 feet, but it gets narrow enough that you're walking pretty much single file most of the time, more conveniently, because there's a lot of rocks and debris in the way that there's paths of gravel that you can follow one another around single file. But standing shoulder to shoulder walking through here is not the easiest thing.
Where we're resting, we relatively well hidden.
Oh yeah, with Tim's roll, I'm sorry. With Tim's roll, he would have found a really good suitable spot. Absolutely. He's found a tucked away area. So you don't feel exposed.
So what
So
is the
ch-
plan for this
To
Minotaur?
rest.
Once we get up to the Minotaur, what's the plan to defeat him? What weaknesses do Minotaurs have?
Originally, wasn't that where we thought the way out would be? From one tower to the next, perhaps? The center of the maze.
Nod would maybe go to one of the clerics, anybody who has still first level healing spells and ask to be healed. Still hurting, a little weary from the travels.
I will happily do
Sure.
that for you. Let's not roll another one.
Anything can be better than that. Ah, much better.
Anyone else have any thing they need to attend to before we roll through the watch order?
Does Nod
Aaron?
need
Very good.
does Nod need another hit
Yeah.
or not?
Yeah. If you have another one, Nod will take it. It more than likely won't be wasted.
Sure.
Perfect.
6 more.
That's 6. I am just one away.
After you rest, you'll be at full. Right?
Yeah, if we had a full day of non-excruciating
Oh, that's right.
work, and yeah, we were
We did
hiking
have a-
uphill and a big battle.
Yeah, okay, then I could use a little healing. If there's any healing still to be had before rest.
I still have
I'm
2
only-
slots.
I just have a
Nice
flesh
job.
wound, but
Let Saharn maybe take. I've got 1 first level left if you want.
Excellent. I'm good at flesh
Alright.
wounds.
yeah, it's something. Every point counts.
All right. What is going to be our watch order? I know that you've got those of you who can sleep less than others, so we'll do it in 2-hour segments or 1-hour segments, and what the order is you want. What is the order?
Who ended up wearing a Mythos ring? Right? Where you don't need to eat or sleep so much.
Yeah, I think that was I don't know who got that. That's a good
Thought
question.
Nod got that. Could be wrong.
Is that right, Nod? Did you get the ring of sustenance? Is it?
Yes,
Or-
correct. Yeah, I
okay.
think I have Mithra's ring assistant.
Okay, yeah. So Nod is the one
Yeah.
that can sleep a whole night's sleep in 4 hours or less. So he can take 2 of the watches. So you just need 2 others to fill in, unless someone else has that ability.
I only need 4 hours of sleep as well because
Okay.
I'm an elf.
That's what I thought. I thought there was something like that where, okay, so Kurza and Nod, if you want, you 2 can do the entire watch.
Sure, if everybody else needs to rest.
Yeah, Nod would be happy to. He doesn't need any silly spell soul searching or anything.
He just
You
sharpens
don't
his
feel
darts.
very.
Which, by the way, I'm assuming that we didn't talk about you retrieving your darts from the Aboleth.
Yeah,
Nod.
correct. Yeah, he is down
Those
like
would have
at least 6
been
darts.
risky to grab, I should say, but
He was tempted to collect some samples from the Aboleth itself, but not worth diving in for the darts.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was any juicy magical bits Kurza might have wanted to cut off of it.
What about any treasures that might be in the water from any other unlucky adventurers that drowned?
definitely this would be great. Even though there's no campfire here in the cave, because I know you wouldn't be that silly, but this would be like a conversation as you guys are all settling in and thinking back on the Aboleth, but probably also very relieved that it didn't go to the next level because it was close to ingesting Kurza. It was really a turn away from that, and there would have been some spiraling
That would have been a
downward
bad thing.
effects, I think. Yeah, so it was good timing that the tide turned when it did. But so those are good things you guys can talk about. But I think one of the other things that Schauser brought up was, what's the plan? Like, when you get to the labyrinth and you're gonna backpedal through the labyrinth and try to get to the center of the labyrinth and kill the elder, is that the end goal here?
That was my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And then Nod, I think you had told us that there was some kind of portal in
In
the
the
center.
center of the
Yeah.
the leader of the Minotaurs. He was a wizard of kind. He was a caster, and I think maybe hold on. Let me go through my knowledge. It's been a while.
Oh, I relish the
He
thought of killing a caster.
Fortuan the Elder. He's at the center of the labyrinth. He is very strong and stubborn. He carries a staff.
I guess from Saharn's point of view, maybe thinking this, the question would be, which direction leads us closer to solving the riddle of the tattoos?
The only clue we got so far was the Harpers didn't know any magic other than the greatest magic in whatever the Forgotten Realms
We don't need our
could help
friends.
with it. But it would.
Well, it was
but
also very
maybe
old magic.
might,
Yeah.
ancient magic might help, and that's where we were thinking maybe Minotaur. The other part of it was
Yeah.
just stay away from the people that could trigger the magic to take control.
Which is my concern right now. Like, it's happened once.
I was just gonna say they wanted us to go to that first tower, right? I
Well,
wonder what they want us to do next.
so I think that at times during the night, you've got different people awake and different people asleep, but everybody's resting for the most part. Between Nod and Kurza, which of you is gonna go first or second?
I'll go first.
All right. During your watch, Kurza, it's
Actually, no, I'm going to go second, I think. Because that way I
Yeah,
can.
you should sleep first. I
Yeah,
mean,
sleep first so I can prepare my spells during the second.
That makes sense.
okay. So for Nod, if you could roll during your watch a detect noise check and what's the other? Yeah, there we go.
We should have started trapping.
And
I was going to speak up and say I was going to put a glyph of warning down, and then I did.
Nod,
Now
just
here we go.
do all three of those one more time, please, for your second. Okay. So Nod, things settle down, everybody gets finally resting, and it quiets down to the point that you've sat for a few hours and it's been just dead quiet. Everything's been still. And then a few hours later, not long before you're to wake Kurza for his watch, you hear a sound of like a high-pitched echoing, like a chittering sound that sounds as if it's coming from behind you, from the direction you've already come. And it doesn't sound familiar to you, but it's just enough in the distance that you're not sure if it's maybe happening down the pathway where it was marked for Minotaur or near there, but it's like somewhere behind you, the chittering sound. I think that gets you a little bit more heightened. And at one point you may, I don't know, really want to take a closer look, or are you
yeah,
good?
Nod would probably either Griff or Saharn, maybe, or even both, kick them both awake and let them know, hey, there's something down there. Some chittering, maybe some bugs, maybe some insects. I don't know. Shouldn't wake the casters yet, though.
Okay. So for Saharn and did you say Saharn and Griff or
Yeah, Sahagin and Griff,
Yeah.
the fighters.
Shazer?
Sahagin,
Shazer.
you mean
Showdown.
me?
Shazer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shazer and Griff. So you two
Mhm.
are both stirred by a very large horned creature in the dark that turns out to be Nod, but he awakens you.
What the hell?
What would you? And he alerts you that there's a chittering. I'll have you guys roll. If you don't have a detect noise check, you can do a wisdom check.
I've got danger sense like Nod does.
Okay.
I can roll that.
Okay. Yeah. And Shauzer, you can just do a plain wisdom check as well. And I'll say, because again, both of you have danger sense, so you don't feel like you're in imminent danger, but you definitely hear, at least Griff and Nod hear very clearly a sound of this chittering, high-pitched echo, and it grows at times, but it stays at a distance behind you, and some distance behind you in the caves where you've been. And so it's really just that's happening right now that has brought you awake. Did you want to say something, Nod?
Yeah, say Nod at this point that he has at least them awake is tempted to go investigate a little bit and attempt to maybe sneak off into the shadows and maybe go get close enough that he can see what's going on.
Yeah, send a signal if we need to wake the casters.
Okay, yeah, that
I'll,
sounds
I'll
good,
make
Nod.
sure I keep Nod within eyesight, and then if I start getting to the point where Shauzer, you can't see me out of the light, and start waking people up.
Okay.
Get too far away.
Let's see.
Smell anything, Nod? Do you see anything through the gem?
Yeah, did I smell anything specific? It's not nothing that is familiar. I know that.
Yeah, it was a non-familiar smell to you, but it was definitely like there was an odor attached with the chittering sound, right? That you felt like, oh, there's something, you know, bringing that odor
There.
with it, but not something that you've smelled before.
Yeah, like I said, he would move through shadows, and I can even. I just essentially, I'm just trying to get close enough to see what it is, to see the movement, or depending on what it is. If it's I have to turn a corner and expose myself, I would just peek around the corner first before I exposed and
So
being more cautious about it.
I think you would be able to get down pretty close here, but as you are heading in that direction, you do need to do a move silently check.
So,
As you're going down in this terrain, the gravel and debris starts to really become difficult to stop. And so it just a couple of hoof falls for you, I don't know, but they start to loosen rocks, and it makes enough noise that you hear the kind of chittering followed by some gruff, guttural words that again aren't familiar to you, and then the chittering kind of stops. So you feel as you're getting closer to that opening, though the sound was coming from that direction. So that's the one thing I would say that for sure you did confirm.
yeah, maybe as I notice I'm making noise and the noise through the hole stopped, I would probably stop myself and just, especially with the new noise, I got to roll sound. Maybe stop there and maybe give a signal back to Griff that there is more or something ahead.
How far am I from the party, from Shauzer?
If you're are you all the way with Nod, or are you halfway in
No,
between?
I'm just keeping Nod at just at the edge of my distance,
Okay.
at the edge
He
of
was at
my
the middle
vision. They're
ground,
like
I think.
25 feet.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Shauzer,
like
you're still
25
back at
feet.
camp. Say that you're maybe half a mile back down this cave maximum,
Oh,
so
geez.
it's a ways. You're able to go down pretty fast to the opening, to where the opening is.
It goes to Minotaur. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's back in that direction. It's
Oh,
back in that
okay.
direction. Yeah, exactly. You guys can press forward and try to peek down the cavern to see if you can see what's making the noise, or you can ignore it, essentially, because it stopped
Yeah.
since the noise has happened. Gave away.
Yeah, no, we'll backtrack. I didn't quite realize we ventured out this far, losing track as
didn't
we were
either.
tumbling down.
Yeah.
Yeah, and start backtracking to the group.
Okay, all right.
Attempt to, anyway.
Yeah, so you get back, and again, the chittering has stopped. So the echoing and sound that was piquing your interest goes away. And you can hand off the watch to Kurza, who's going to watch the other 2 sessions in the morning hours. And if I go back to the roll, Kurza, you're told of this phenomenon. You can roll detect noise as well during your first shift to see if you detect it.
Oh, just barely failed.
Oh, okay. He got a 42 and he needed a 40. All right, Kurza, you don't hear anything at all your first time around. You can roll that one more time for your second shift. I'm doing just 2-hour shifts here for the rolls.
Okay.
And so during your second shift, and this would be the morning when the others might be an hour or so from needing to wake, you start to hear specifically that sound. And the chittering sound sends a chill up the back of your neck, Kurza. It's a sound you've heard before. It's 100% a sound you've heard before. And I'm
From
going to see if you can
where?
recall it. Go ahead and make a... Let's see, what kind of... Let me double check your... Sorry, I need to print this out and just have this on my desk. In this case, you could make a wisdom check. Okay, and you needed a strong wisdom check, which you got. It might take you a little while to piece this together, but suddenly a word comes to your mouth, and it's your own, but it's your own thought, and you're remembering the sound, and you say Sahagin.
Oh, wow, that's an old one. What the hell are they doing around here? There is deep water nearby. Are they close by? Are they?
They're about a half a mile down the cave in the entrance in the path that leads astray of the labyrinth. So
Yeah, you have to pay attention. If it gets any closer, I'm going to wake somebody. But if it doesn't get any closer, I guess I'll have to let it go.
So go ahead and make another wisdom check, please. I assume you're like staring down towards that direction now that you've heard it. Okay. At some point or another, and you've got very good infravision, dark vision, you feel like you see a figure, and at first you're not sure. It looks like maybe it's a shadow. What is it? But then you definitely see the figure, and you feel like the figure is looking around and eventually looks up in your direction, and that its eyes are glowing a very faint green color.
Yeah, I'll have to. Let's see.
But I need you to do, before you roll, I need you to do a move silently check and a hide in shadows check.
That's exactly what I was going to roll.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
There's the move silently and the hide in shadows. Didn't really do that.
Yeah, so I think that
I'm moving towards Griff, though.
Yeah, I think though what happens is you've been spotted by this thing with the glowing eyes, and you quickly see, even before you turn towards Griff, that this thing turns and starts to retreat back away from your direction. So you move over and you awaken Griff. Griff, you're stirred again in the night. Kurza, what do you say?
We got some Sahuagin just spotted us. The scouts heading back to the group.
I think you're muted, Molly.
You muted, Molly.
Back.
Oh, I say, hey, Fishman, help us slay this Minotaur. At the center of the maze.
I guess I'll have to wake up Shoger and Nod then too.
Oh, I'm awake. I'm awake.
Everyone,
Okay.
yeah, we'll
That's-
say you've
yeah.
all been
Mm.
woken up a little early here, but again, you've gotten enough rest to restore the spells you needed to restore, and to
Sorry, I was
recover
waiting. I didn't
whatever
know it
you
was my
needed
action.
to.
It's all good.
But yeah, you're all awake and told of what Kurza saw, which Kurza, you could tell them what you saw.
Basically, glowing green eyes, along with the sounds of the Sahagin a good half click distance from us.
Is that what the
Is that
sound
what you
was?
guys were? Is that what you guys were hearing all night long? That clicking,
Mm.
We heard chittering. Yeah.
yeah,
Chittering sound.
Sahagin talking.
Do I know anything about these things?
I don't think like
Griff?
you would have probably encountered
Okay.
many of them, but you would know generally what a Sahagin is basically like
Okay.
a
I guess I would
lizard
ask
man.
Saharn. Yeah. What?
Amphibious
you know, what-
fish, from what
what
I've
would we,
encountered previously.
How do we combat these things? What are they? What would they want? Us? Would we be able to keep going? Would they hunt us or?
They might.
Typically
Depends what their
unfriendly.
purpose is.
Right?
It's probably better to, even if they do try to follow us, it's probably still better to lead them into a narrower passage for us to single file them than to try to take them in a big open area. We don't know how
Yeah.
many they have.
But do we want to be
Hey,
caught between them and the Minotaur?
I would suggest not. They travel in tribes, so there could
I
be a
think we
good
should
10,
parlay
20,
with them.
30 of them.
Do we try to flee? Or
Yeah, we either go to the maze or we go toward them. Those are the two directions.
But the maze is going to put them behind us, and we'll be between the Minotaur and.
No,
Right.
that's not. I'm sorry, that's not true. I was wondering if that's what you thought. No, they're behind you. You're
Coming from the Aboleth cave?
you're past this cave entrance where they're at on your journey to the Minotaur Labyrinth. You don't have to pass them to get to the Minotaur Labyrinth. If you
Correct.
continue forward, they're behind you, essentially. Now
Right.
they're
Which
between
would
you
trap
and your
us.
portal. Yeah, they're between you and your portal and everything
Yes.
else that you're familiar with. That's true. But they're not between you and the labyrinth.
That's what I was saying. We either go toward the maze or we go toward them. We're in
Right.
between
Yeah.
them and the maze.
Let's head towards the maze.
Didn't Amithra and tell me that Bart and Kurza had a run in with Sahagin?
Yeah.
Are they servants of our enemies or?
Yeah, that was
They were
I-
related to I think our tattoo problem, but only distantly. They were collecting ancient dwarven books to look for the dwarven city that I think we actually found.
Those of you that
uh,
I assumed were like intimately familiar with Sahagin would be Kurza, Bart, mainly. I don't think the others. You've heard of Sahagin, that they're wicked, that they're an evil-leaning lizard group, but whether or not
lizard or fish?
they're like a fish. I'm sorry, they are a fish, like a fish group,
And
a
amphibious.
fish-looking man, humanoid, if you will. But I assume the rest of
Yeah.
you have just heard of them, not really killed one necessarily.
I was guessing I heard of it secondhand, right? Because they might have told Amithra
Yeah, that's true.
about their
That's
past,
true.
and I was just like,
100%. It would all ring
that,
true
yeah.
at that point.
They're
In
not
that sense-
particularly, I don't know. They don't have any special abilities about them, but I've never thought about eating them.
Maybe we should face that.
Slay
front.
them, but see what happens.
Didn't we also see, Bart might recall with Kurza, that we also came across a Medusa in the depths of the last
Yeah.
area that we encountered of Sahagin.
Yeah, that was near that dwarven city.
Over by the Pirate Isles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the day awaits. You can go whichever way you want to go. But yeah, I wanted you
Back
to
up
be
in the
clear
same
on
marching order?
positioning.
Why don't we just keep the same marching order we have on screen and proceed towards the maze?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. unless you want to leave some traps behind for our friendly neighborhood Sahagin. Or maybe not.
Try to set it.
That may or may not invite them to follow us with revenge.
Bart and I could set up a couple of glyphs that go boom if anyone crosses them. But do we need to?
So, you guys good on spells for the day?
Yeah.
Apparently, we're
You're,
rested.
you're
so
We got
restored.
them all
Yeah,
back.
you're
So,
restored. You got everything
And then,
back. Yeah, I think it's a fair question though that is being raised is are you doing anything to try to deter or counteract being followed? Because it sounds like Kurz is concerned about that more than maybe others have been.
well,
They
So
know
I
we
was
were
gonna s-
here because they've seen us. Me specifically, but
I'm concerned about being trapped between two adversaries.
me too.
Sahar believes that they would probably try to follow us, and if they think they're stronger than us, they will attack.
Right, do we
either
want to turn
direct.
around
If
and
we
face
go
them?
either direction, we can go towards an unknown, caught between an unknown in front of us and the Sahuagin in back of us on one route, or the Minotaur maze on one in front of us and the Sahuagin behind us on the other.
But,
So
yeah, territory, somewhat familiar territory.
I
Definitely
go with the familiar ones.
that or
We
you,
can probably set some kind of a defensive position and let them storm it.
Say, I don't know about you guys, but I have no problem in the mazes. I'm not sure how Sahagin will do in mazes as well.
Yeah, I don't think they're.
And Nod knows his way through the maze.
That's a good
That's
point.
true.
Yeah, let's set up some snares and traps around here, Urza, and then maybe we in Nod, you can three of us together with our skills,
Okay.
snare skills and stuff, and then continue on toward the maze. What do you guys think?
Sure.
Go ahead. You guys can, if you've got the set snare ability, you can check that to see how that goes. But what kind of snares are you guys thinking about here? Are you trying to just make noise, or are you trying to cause harm, slow them?
Yeah, I was thinking entanglement, noise, and maybe if they keep coming, something a little bit more.
Okay. I would say that
If they
maybe what
fail,
you're finding, is that in this particular section of cave, it's not really good, and you start to think that you might want to wait until you get closer to the labyrinth to try to set up more snares again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make you like set a bad trap. I'm just gonna say that you're just not finding a good place to set a good trap. So you feel like, all right, I'll wait. The terrain will change. I know what it's like closer to the maze. So you guys can be going back in this same order up the caves again. And I think again, some time is gonna go on here where you're gonna be looking behind you a lot just to see if there's anything back there. I'll have Bart, I think, and Schauser particularly make wisdom checks, please,
Have an alert
or alertness.
skill.
Okay. I just want to see how attuned they are since they're in the back, and then
We should probably look for a defensive position that's narrower, where we might be able to hold them off if we.
We're not
if we
even
wanna
sure
get
they're
close.
behind us yet.
yeah, no, I think right now Bart and Schauser are keeping a close eye behind you, and you feel confident. Both of you together are watching and making sure that there's nothing there, and you don't feel any threat or anything you don't see anything. So you feel like you're making distance now between you and the Sahagin. And eventually you guys, again, are climbing for a way. I'm going to have you make constitution checks again, so everybody can make one of these. And this is just to see, again, what your speed is like. It's not going to, doesn't mean you won't be able to continue. Okay, a lot of really good checks here. So this is like day 2 of hiking when your legs are strengthened maybe, but nothing compared to yesterday. So you guys make it all the way back to where you start to get on familiar territory again. You feel like you remember this exact section, and as you turn the corner, you look ahead and you find yourselves back in a place that you haven't been since, wow, session, I think 43 is when you guys were here last. And I don't even know if this will show you guys anything. This probably doesn't show you anything. Is it black?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
There
wait,
we
here we
go.
go.
There's the entrance
Oh, I see it.
to the labyrinth. So that's just visually what you would see, but I'll move us over to the map here in just a second, which again, it's been almost 10 sessions since you've been here. Here we are. I think we're
Didn't we get attacked by a carrion crawler or something the last time we were in a similar underground stone hallway? That's, yeah.
so I think I need to probably
Where do we
find your
come in on
tokens.
here? From the right?
I'll just do this again. Yeah, you came from the right. I'm going to drop the tokens. I don't know why it's what happened to the original tokens. I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, this is where you guys remember when you were last here, you killed actually two of the, I think, champion. They were more of like the fighter, like the large, muscular minotaurs, and you guys made a mess of them actually.
Yeah, that was the one that Kurza critical with his own sword.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. All right, I'm starting to get everybody. I think I'm missing Griff and Sahagin are last here.
Yes. I see nothing but the dark map.
Sorry about that. Let's see, it should give you light now. Hopefully you see something.
There we are.
Okay.
Yes.
So you guys can move yourselves now a little bit. Didn't mean to put Bart first or however. I just was trying to get it situated, but you have left some notes on this board, and
The lighting is real weird. There's like a cone coming out of the top of me.
it's
I don't
probably
see the
reverting.
tokens.
It's reverting to the field of vision setting. Is anybody else's doing
I don't-
that?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is.
Okay, yeah. What's up with yours, Molly?
I just don't see the tokens.
Let's see. Limit field of vision. Yeah, it's the same thing. I think. Oh, yours is not even.
I can't move myself. I'm stuck.
Now I see him.
And let me check yours, Chris. You might just be stuck in a wall or something. I don't know why you can't.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Still can't move it. It's probably just because
Nope.
of the way the map is here. It's tight.
Yeah, sure.
But we'll file you guys through and get you back into the maze. Nod, you're back in front, I assume, here. And you're leading the way? Since this place, the back of your hand, I assume?
Yeah, Nod, do you want to do the gem and the sniff and I can follow you?
Yeah, we are not far from the center, if that's what you're asking for. But yes, we will look through the gem first. If there's nothing there, next we will look for traps, make sure we're not going to walk into anything silly. And then take a sniff.
Alright, let's see.
Yeah, smells like we're just by ourselves here, guys.
No
Yeah,
sign of anything coming behind us, right?
Yeah, so far you guys have been keeping a close eye behind you and have not seen anything trailing you. But of course, you're moving, trying to get up to the maze, and you've made your way up. Nod has checked for traps, hasn't found any traps, hasn't smelled anything peculiar. Nod, you have the innate sense when you're back in this maze of exactly where the fastest path is to go to reach the center. Okay, and so I'm going to have you do a wisdom check here just for your quality of recall. And then I'm going to pull you towards your instinct. And we'll see how far you guys make it here in the next couple minutes before we end the session. See, I don't think he has... I'm double checking his proficiencies. Nod, can you make a wisdom check for me? So you're going to be...
Oopsie.
You're going to know that leading the group back in is going to walk you past where you had slain this other large Minotaur who is no longer there, but there is a big blood stain on the floor of where you mopped him across. The others, you guys can follow in. I'm gonna move your tokens. Hopefully double check for me that you can move now. Let me know if anyone else can't move. I think a couple of the tokens were just too big. I think I gotta make that a little smaller.
Still can't.
Let's see.
Just move it just a
That's weird. Yours definitely looks right. You only have one character sheet.
hold on.
Right.
Let me try something else.
I
There
think
we
you still
go.
got the weird directional
Oh, you do too.
lighting going
Okay.
on or whatever.
Damn, why does it do that? It's so annoying. Okay, that should be gone. And I'll take your nameplate off. All right,
Yeah,
I'll get
looks-
this straightened out for next time. It's been, like I said, it's been 10 sessions since you've been up here, and I really didn't know what you would do. It's always interesting to see where we end up. But Nod is leading the way. He's just doing quick recall, and he starts to lead you all through the path. I'm gonna move you guys into this center area a little bit more.
Let's
And-
stay close while we're moving, but like when we encounter him, if we do, we should not stay in one place and be a target as a group, right?
Yeah,
Like,
something
we
to
should
talk about.
scatter. I just suggest to the
Okay.
group as we progress.
So Nod, you reach this
Well, I
point,
don't
and
think we
then
need-
this is where
No,
you
I
know,
don't mean separate.
you're not
just
exactly
not be.
sure. You've probably not been in this center zone that many times to remember exactly where the opening is, but you know now that if you stick to your left, that you should make it to the center, and you'll be standing at the staircase where the elder keeps watch. You definitely just feel if you stick to the left wall and follow it all the way around at this point, you're anything you guys are wanting to do or say or prepare before he leads you to where he's certain there's trouble.
We're certain to get into combat.
Yeah, make sure you're using the gem as we go.
Yeah, and
And
Nod was even considering maybe we even go with a silence on us so we're not making noise and we can plausibly get a surprise.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
All right, so I'm gonna move you guys around,
Yeah.
and you can do that. You can absolutely do that, but I'm gonna move you guys
do the coin.
into this space so that I can leave us here on our cliffhanger. Nod, you eventually lead the way and follow around to this center area that it's starting to come back to you, some of what this was and who was here, and you make your way, let's see, all follow Nod and make your way towards the center of this dungeon, this labyrinth, and you feel as you're getting closer, it's just a little eerie, but eventually you turn and you get to that opening where you're standing now, and you look before you and you see a staircase, and at the top of the staircase you can see an active portal swirling as if it's open, and so as it's open,
Hey, look, tracks.
something's starting to
Went
emerge in the shape of the portal, and it starts to appear for you, and it is in fact Fortuan the Elder, who walks through the portal facing down the stairs towards you. That's where I'll leave it. I won't even bring any
We have a black screen for us.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
is-
guys have
is
a black
there a-
screen? Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see.
Yeah.
Why did
Mhm.
it do that? It must have dynamic lighting. I apologize.
Oh, that's what we're looking at.
That's what I meant for
Oh,
you to
the
be
big
seeing
old
the entire
Minotaur at the
time.
top of the stairs. Who
still,
knew?
I still don't see anything.
Oh, you still don't see it?
Oh,
Does he see us?
Zoom
yet?
in. You have to zoom in. It's small.
he's like
Oh,
the
okay.
Doc Savage of Minotaurs.
There it
with
is. I
big
found
horn.
it. I found it.
Yeah, so he's got his staff, as you remember. He looks a little bit more, I would say, to the casters, like he looks more like a shaman or a necromancer than he does a, evocationist or something like that, right? So he's got a little bit more of that going on with him, but I think and I will bring in some dialogue that he would lock eyes with. As he was like walking out of the portal, his eyes would already be locked with Nod's eyes.
Yeah. I was wondering if Nod was growling. Reflex action.
A
Yeah.
little bit of foam coming out of his mouth. Yeah.
So I think there's
Yeah.
like a long stair here that is where we cut out, is in the long stair, both in standing before the stairs, but the stair of the two Minotaurs as well. So yeah, we'll pick up here next time in 2 weeks and see what happens next, what is said, and where it goes.
Very cool.
All right.
Well,
What was the name again? What was the bad guy's name?
Fortuan.
Fortuan, yeah. You've depleted his minions. It seems to be a track record that you all have, is depleting minions for sure.
If we could deplete minions first and then have a boss by himself,
Yeah.
I think that improves
Yeah.
our odds just a tad.
that is to
True.
our advantage.
Does he look like he's expecting us, or is he surprised to see us?
No, he looks like he was expecting you, and his eyes were locked
Mhm.
on Nod, which was the giveaway. Like he's been watching you come through, and I think that was part of, as Nod was coming through and remembering where to go, he was not remembering the fact that there were ways that he could be seen. So it was detected that you were all coming, and so he's standing, at the top of the staircase looking down upon you, and again doesn't seem to be surprised that you're there. So we'll figure out what
Okay.
what his demeanor is and where this goes. And I don't want to leave. Definitely don't want to do a turn order again, knowing that it disappears between sessions. I'll purposely
Mhm.
save all of that for next time, because maybe you can negotiate your way and become friends. Maybe Nod
Hey,
and
we did it with the
Fortuan talk about old
player.
times and buy each other a beer. Are you still carrying the case of beer around, Nod, or the
Oh yeah, I got a keg of beer.
You got a
bottle
keg of beer.
wine,
I
and
mean, you never know. Maybe something like that, but maybe
Yeah,
not.
let's hope so. Probably not.
We
No.
got some good mushrooms too.
Sounds
Are we
like a
playing
good
on the
party. I mean, I
4th?
could tell you. Let's see, what would it be? It would be the 7th of March is our next session.
Oh,
Sure.
7th. Yeah, you're right.
Let's see.
Is everybody still
Okay.
good with Fridays?
The 7th. Usually I am, but I'll be out the 7th actually.
Mm.
Yeah, no worries. Just we'll mark ourselves in. If someone wants to propose a different
Alright.
time slot, let me know. But until we're getting 6 on this time slot, so it seems pretty. We've had 6 for a while on this time slot, so it seems like a pretty good, convenient one.
It usually is fine.
One that works for me. To be honest, this is the
Yeah.
one that works for me.
Okay.
Works great.
Yeah.
Works great for me
All
too.
right.
So we'll see. Things change, but if anyone has any ideas for an in-between time that works or something, or a different day or time, I'm always open to that idea. But congratulations, you killed an Aboleth, and you didn't suffer that badly from it.
I actually looked up. I had never heard of one of those things, and I actually looked it up, and I was like, "Oh no, we're not
Yeah.
gonna make it."
Really? No, it was
It's a good thing we
surprisingly
had.
Well, they
light.
regenerate, right? So that's one of the reasons why you all had to do so much damage to it.
That's why I kept asking you, Sahar, and I was like, "Just tell me it regenerates." I had a Mithras sword that's +3 versus regenerating creatures.
I personally
Mm.
didn't
Oh,
think of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I failed to mention
Sorry.
that to
Well,
you
but
too. I wasn't even thinking
yeah,
that.
I knew Wayne didn't know, but
Yeah, I should have
figured
said something. I
Sahar
should have
might.
clued on the fact that you're asking Saharn.
Yeah.
That is something he
All
would have
right.
been able to draw on.
Griff didn't know. Wayne forgot that in the heat of battle, he was doing his best.
But at the same time, if I was in the party and you were asking a question like that, I would be like, if you have a weapon that does more damage to something that regenerates, you should always use that weapon. Like, why is that weapon ever put away? That would be my.
Yeah.
No, I
That's
know
the
it's not
thing,
yours.
so-
It's
You
not.
wanna
That's the
know.
reason why. Is it was a
Yeah.
Mithra's weapon. That it is a
It
special.
was Mithra's weapon, and it's +1 against everything else. And my tomahawk is also a hammer, so it's a slashing and a blunt weapon, and it's +1.
Yeah.
So if I need to hit like a skeleton or something that can only take blunt damage, I have that, or I have a slashing weapon, and then I have a stabbing weapon with my other short sword.
Nice.
That's why.
Yeah, and I guess I'm Do you guys want to play on, or do you want to wait till next session? Because
I don't know if I don't know if we want to get into this because I don't think we can finish it in half an hour. But it's up to you
Yeah.
guys.
right,
No, I
right.
think we
We
should
are
call
also
it
out of
here.
astonishing fortune, so
I'm good.
That's
Yeah,
a
yeah.
great
Yeah, that's
point.
another good reason.
Yeah,
That's a wisdom
absolutely.
check
Oh
on
yeah, you know
Brandon's
what?
part
I'm
right there.
really tired, and you guys
Okay,
are cutting
all right.
out on me. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no worries. I figured I'd ask
it's
because
only a Minotaur.
I hate to leave you hanging knowing what we're gonna come into, but probably better that we
You
do
love
that.
You
it.
did it
You're
last
lying. You love it to leave him
Yeah,
No.
well,
hanging.
You
it
did
definitely
last
it
time,
helps
and
me
you just made a
plan.
month.
It helps me plan because every time I give you guys a choice, you go
Mhm.
the opposite direction of what I thought you would do. I thought for sure I would lure you away from the labyrinth and towards the other direction, and I couldn't do it. I threw all the bait out
Yeah.
there, couldn't do it. You guys were hell bent on getting here to this guy
Oh,
today,
great.
and I thought it was
I
good.
think it's because we want to finish some business.
Yeah, we haven't
I think that's the
closed
one.
the quest. Yeah.
That's the one
True.
problem with sandbox, which is my favorite style of play. But sometimes you can end up with so many loose ends.
Yeah,
So
if
it's so
this
Yeah.
was
satisfying
like if
when you
this was
actually get
Diablo,
one.
you would have the whole side of your screen would be open with all the quests you haven't that
Yeah.
you've started but haven't
I was gonna
fulfilled. Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
a game you play online, it would have been driving me nuts because I'm like, no, I have to completely finish this before I go on to the next thing. Yeah.
This is a big punctuation mark to a big part of what you've been through. You guys cleared this labyrinth for the most part when you were here the first time. There are a few other things like behind you that you haven't done, but I would say once you've figured this out, you've really forged your way all the way down to where that rune is, right? You're gonna have familiarity with everything there
Yes.
and above.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be
Or
interesting.
we'll
Well,
be
if
dead.
we really were playing video game side quest style, like Tim just said, we'd still be stuck in the tower because we'd never figured out the hourglass room,
Yeah,
True.
true.
right?
That
We'd
is
Yeah.
still be back there, aging and probably all dead of old age by now.
Mm.
That's a good point.
We finally get
We
out of the
skipped a lot
tower
of
and a
rooms in that
century has
tower,
passed.
too.
It's
All
been
right.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jamie. I
Appreciate it.
really
Yeah,
appreciate it.
thank you all.
Appreciate
Good
the
game.
time.
Fun
Yep.
times. Take care.
Lots of fun. Thank you.
Have a
good
good
seeing
one.
everyone.
Yes.
Right.